Chiropractors started with their face pressed up against the spine, and I'm going, guys, take a step back, look at the whole posture. There you go. Let me have this side. There we go. Okay, it's okay. All right, there we go. Okay, go real gentle. Here we go. I got you, brother.
All right.
I got you. It's okay. Everybody walks out. Everybody walks out of here. There we go. Let me have it. Relax here. There you go.
It's hard to lay still, isn't it?
Get the idea, right?
Yeah.
That
wow. That was a crack.
It shouldn't require 15 minutes of to get the bolt to turn.
The
You
Geico.
have potential. His nose is growing. That's not what I'm saying, guys. You have potential.
Oh.
All right, breathe. I got you.
So you're using elbows for
This
that?
is my flat part of my elbow, yeah.
Oh.
I never thought of my elbow being a very sensitive structure until I used it every day. And now my elbow I can feel like better than almost with my hands.
Wow.
Like I saw this video of a guy that was born without arms and he was like shuffling a deck of cards with his feet. I can barely pick up my underwear with my feet.
Fascinating, isn't it?
Tell me what's going on here.
Well, just mainly neck pain, back pain. I mean, I've got some radiating pain around to the front of my clavicle and
Okay.
up my neck, and it's kind of hard to turn left. And
How long have you noticed that to the clavicle?
Really since January, maybe a little before.
Did anything happen you think of significance that upset that? Just think more Zoom calls you said earlier?
Yeah, I mean, nothing I could think of. I mean, I'm on airplanes, and some of those seats aren't the best, and
Okay. Now, your head's forward, but your shoulders are rounded forward. So it's like, well, it's lined up, I see. But if I pulled your shoulders back, you get the idea?
Sure.
It's deceiving a little bit because you're both the shoulders rounded forward. What that is avoidance. You're hitting nerves in your lower neck, and your body's trying to get away from them, and it's still happening. So that process can happen over a period of time. Typically, when the alignment that you're in puts an extra abundance of stress on your lower neck, the lower neck is where the wires that come out, that go shoulder, lower neck. And so we want to take the stress off your lower neck, primarily getting your upper neck working. And like I said earlier, remember the orthodontistry, we
Yeah.
have to get the alignment fixed. Hip is high. So what I'm seeing is your left hip you're in right avoidance. When your left hip comes up, the holes on the right get larger. So when I feel your hips, this hip is higher. Now watch what happens when I raise the left hip. That makes sense? You're in
Sure.
the hole on the right, we're made up of little wires coming through holes, and they're supported by discs that have no feeling. Two things can change the size of that hole. Bending forward makes the hole bigger, or even tilting can make the hole bigger.
Got it.
So, somebody might say your left leg is short, and that's quite possible. I'll check it out in a second. But what I generally see 99.9% of the time is that the left leg is not short. It's your body trying to shift the spine around to relieve pressure on nerves. Well, Ed, I don't have any sciatica. I know, but you're in avoidance. You understand? You would if you weren't. It's like you're walking around like this going, I feel great. Right? I'm going,
That's
well,
crazy,
but
yeah.
you're crooked.
Yeah.
Right? You're not supposed to be tilted like this, and I'm exaggerating, but my point is that there's a shift going on down here, and I'm going to investigate that in a second. Remember how when you felt my back, it's supposed to be supple here?
Yep.
If this is tight, we overwork this. When the lower back gets overworked, your body shifts. The word we try to use, maybe you've heard this word, is subluxation, was
Sure.
the word that chiropractors tried to denote, which is, look, it's tilted, it's crooked, and then a lot of guys will take x-rays and they'll say, ooh, this is rotated 2 degrees, that's rotated, and chiropractors started with their face pressed up against the spine, and I'm going, guys, take a step back, look at the whole posture.
Big picture.
Well, I'm serious. This is how chiropractic started. They started what we call segmental analysis. They looked at the rotation of that vertebrae on that vertebrae, and then chiropractic biophysics started in the 90s, and they said, stop looking segmentally, start looking globally. So take 5 steps back and look at the whole spine. Look, there's no curve in the neck. You're supposed to have a curve in your neck. You're supposed to have a curve in your lower back, right? So that if you can't see it when you're too close to it. So I'm not a huge X-ray, first of all, because if I take a set of X-rays on you, you'll just see antalgia sometimes. Your body you have a scoliosis. Well, maybe, but you might just have avoidance. And that avoidance, Ed, I told you it's all up here, Ed. Why are you talking about my lower back? You're in avoidance, so something could be going on down there. I'm not going to wait till it happens, right? That's what we call healthcare. We're trying to teach how to avoid something instead of illness care, which is, Ed, I got my foot's going numb and I have sciatica shooting my leg. Well, we should have been guided 10 years ago to prevent this. What you're describing is certain parts of your spine are having a temper tantrum. You understand, the nerves are getting hit. But that's, I almost ask an inverted question. I don't ask why you're pinching this nerve. I ask why are you not pinching all the other ones? And the answer to that question is you don't utilize them. You're only primarily utilizing a small section of your back. And I'll show you in a minute when I push on you. You'll go, yeah, I realize it, Ed. Most of your back is going to be tight. And a small section of your back has been showing up and they're the ones getting injured. If I loosen up a loose area, it's not good for you because you just further loosened up what's loose. That might injure it. If I loosen up a stiff area that needs to be loosened and that's good, that doesn't feel good because it was stiff. So I'm in a lose-lose position here. I can't really be, most people don't like me till visit 4 or 5. Exhale for me. Let all the air out. Yeah, deep breath in. I got you. Okay. Head back for me. Let it go. Let it go. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Exhale. All right. So we get the idea of totally frozen.
Interesting.
That never it's supposed to be butter in there. And it felt like I was out there in the parking lot pushing on concrete. Now, I'm going to get it moving for you, but what is the significance that that area isn't moving? Well, somebody's got to be moving. When you get in and out of a car, some part of your back has to mechanically pivot. I know it's a little bit of a dance. Bring the hands around your belly for me. You're good. It's gonna, there we go. I'm gonna go real gentle. Breathe in for me. We're just gonna rotate and twist. Exhale. There we go. Breathe in for me. Exhale and twist. Not gonna drop you. There we go. Totally real stiff there. I got you. Exhale. There it is, a little bit. Other side for me. Other side. It's okay. Other side. All right. Breathe in deep for me. Exhale. Rotate. There we go. All right. Breathe in deep. Exhale. It's okay. Face up for me. It's okay. Face up. 12 segments. 12 piano keys that I was running my hand down the piano and the key didn't even move. It didn't budge. And you're like, well, I just want my piano tuned, Ed. I can't tune a piano if the keys don't even move. I got to first fix the piano. Then we can talk about the sound that it makes. They found within 10 days of a joint not moving, it becomes frozen.
Wow.
And you have what I would call frozen middle back. You can't Google that and, well, Doc, it didn't come up on Google. I typed in frozen mid back, and you can type in frozen shoulder. Frozen shoulder is a medical diagnosis for an injury to the glenohumeral joint. You don't move the glenohumeral joint, it becomes frozen. They found that that can happen to any joint in your body. When you don't move it, it becomes, you lose range of motion. And so because it wasn't required for your middle back joints to move,
It hasn't been.
they all left. There you go. Let me have this side. There we go. Okay, it's okay. I got you. Let's see if anybody. There we go. A little bit. Okay, I got one vertebrae. Yay!
Okay.
It's okay. I've seen worse and I've fixed worse.
It felt good. Yeah.
You're doing good. It's we have all your potential. You're my. What do you want to say? You have so much. I think and I'm not doing that Pinocchio commercial with the Geico. You see that? You have untapped potential.
Yeah. That's a good one. The
You
Geico.
have potential. His nose is growing. That's not what I'm saying, guys. You have potential. You do. You have. There is a lot of untapped mechanical potential that your spine has put into a chest and locked.
Cross
And now
my fingers.
Right, we just got to unlock your spine. Your main engine is supposed to be your atlas and axis. These top two bones up here
Yeah.
are designed to do 60% of the mechanical work of your neck. It's supposed to only happen right here. So if this vertebrae doesn't work, this is going to get worked.
Interesting.
Right, and that's why you're pinching the lower neck, and that's why the cause effect. The lower neck is your shoulder. It is your clavicle. That makes sense. I know I didn't say my lower neck. I said it was there here.
Yeah.
I understand, but these are the same things. They're embryonically and neurologically connected. So the lower neck is your hand. They're both connected. Your lower neck and the border of the scapula are the same thing. They're embryonically two cells, became a tube called a notochord, right? That's your embryonic spinal cord. So there's a tube of nerves, right, when you were being built. And then before the heart can form, what do you think has to form before the heart or a liver? The nerve to the heart.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
So the nerve to the liver forms, the nerve to your colon forms, the nerve to your... And then off the nerve comes the organ, right? The nervous system controls not only the health of the tissue, it's what formed it in the first place. The nerves were always what was there. And so we have two systems. One's called the central nervous system, and then the second is the peripheral. So the central is housed inside your brain and spinal column. Pressure on that causes disease. So without a spinal mechanic, without somebody looking at your alignment and going, look, your upper neck doesn't work, either we learn and get this part of your neck functioning, which is vital for the health of your lower neck and vital for the health of your upper back. It just isn't fun. Yeah, right there. I don't. Iron thumbs. This is the curve your neck should have. Should be arched. Oh, right there. And then you're pinching this. This gets pinched.
So slow.
Right, this is pinched because your upper neck is locked. And so you're folding too much in the lower neck because your upper neck, where you're supposed to be folding, it's like a piece of paper or a postcard that you keep folding back and forth in the same crease, and eventually you can easily tear it, right? And so what's your solution, Dr. Ed? Create a new fold. Gentle, here we go. I got you, brother.
All right.
I got you. It's okay. Everybody walks out. Everybody walks out of here. There we go. Let me have it. Relax here. There we go.
It's hard to lay still, isn't it?
Get the idea, right?
Yeah,
That
wow.
was. Gotcha. There we go. Let me have it. I got you. Let it go. There it is. Beautiful. You good? Yeah. Get the idea?
I do.
That's the function that you've lost. Now, once we get it moving, we have to retain it. Otherwise, your body will go back to old habits and stiffen it up again. That's where the stretching comes in, and at the end of the visit, we'll go over that a little bit.
All right.
If I put a marble on your back, it would roll off to your right because the left side, so this causes right abuse. Left restriction is going to cause right overworking. The peak of your back misalignment is right here on your left side.
That's hurt so bad for so long.
Right. I wish I could make this exciting and hello, my honey, hello, my baby. It's just me. You just sat there and dug on his upper neck for an hour.
Well,
And
the whole technique's really interesting. It's like,
I have to sit here and this is so locked. I mean, it gave me nothing, and now I see why it gave me nothing. It just, that is a
I mean, I spent years like in imaging, so I'm used to,
right.
visualizing stuff. It's like I'm just trying to listen to how you're,
Yeah.
like, tuning in, for lack of a better word.
Right, I
Like
got
you're-
you. Yeah.
It's really interesting, Jimmy.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I'll show you, this is all low on this side.
Mhm.
It's all low, and oh my goodness. Has anybody worked on your back? Nobody's worked on here. Nobody's touched it. Okay. I mean, I would hope that anybody could quickly see this. It's not a small misalignment.
Right.
It is a major level of, it's like a drawer. One side of the drawer is shut and the other side of the drawer is like popped open. The drawer is crooked. So we first have to level the drawer out and then we can try to shut it further. Because this is more misaligned, you'll see me spend more time first balancing it, and then we move both sides together. And so a future visit will be different. You'll see me spending more time evenly on your spine. This visit, it's going to be primarily on the most restricted. So left middle restriction, right abuse, left hip comes up to make that hole bigger on the right. Do you follow the dominoes?
I do. It's
Right?
interesting.
You're in avoidance because your right side is overworking. In my first 10 years of my practice, I used to take pictures of people with no pain. You know what I found? After taking a bunch of pictures of areas that have no pain? Some really bad looking things,
That's crazy.
right? I saw terrible looking arthritis, compression fractures. I found all sorts of things in things that don't hurt. Well, how do I explain that? You don't move there anymore. You're saying your body can stop chewing on areas that are injured, or you're in avoidance. Until you finally can't avoid something, then pain arises. But because we only take pictures of things that hurt, we miss that piece of information. We're missing that puzzle piece that there are a lot of people with terrible arthritis and disc injuries that have no symptoms. Until you finally push the nerve to the threshold, that's when symptoms occur. We know this with disc injury. It takes 10 to 15 years to get a disc to actually herniate and finally hit the nerve.
I've never heard that.
So where was the healthcare in that 10 to 15 years before you actually hit the nerve? I have several areas where I'm seeing avoidance, like you've broken your right ankle and you got all your weight on your left ankle. So your right ankle's broken, left ankle's now the one you're standing on, and you're telling me your right ankle feels great. And I'm like, that's only because you're not stepping on it. I bet you if you stepped on that, it'd hurt. You're like, no, I hop around on my left leg. It feels just, right ankle's doing great. I go, that's just because you're not stepping on it. And then I'm going to tell you to step on it. You're like, oh, it's killing me. You hurt me. I told you. I shouldn't have ever stepped on it. Well, you can't. Your left ankle's not going to make it. If you keep hopping around on your left ankle, eventually you sprain your left ankle to the point where you can't use your left side anymore. So how do you fix the left side? You have to restore the right ankle, rehabilitate it, and then the left ankle will stop hurting. Okay, all right. It's just, we take it right to that edge, and then we back off, and I'm going to explore the edge, and I'm like a velociraptor to it. I touch the fence. Okay, there's the edge.
So you're using elbows?
This is my flat part of my elbow, yeah.
Oh.
That's how I can feel it. I never thought of my elbow being a very sensitive structure until I used it every day. And now my elbow I can feel like better than almost with my hands.
Wow.
Through my elbow. You don't really look at your elbow as being a very sensitive structure, but
At all,
it
yeah.
actually can be trained to be. Like I saw this video of a guy that was born without arms, and he was like shuffling a deck of cards with his feet. I can barely pick up my underwear with my feet.
Fascinating, isn't it?
This guy's
Yeah.
shuffling a deck of cards with his toes.
Yeah.
That's not possible. He's got the same anatomy in terms of muscles in his leg, right? But he's trained his muscles because he was born without arms.
Fascinating.
So he had to, right? The need was there.
Okay.
These are the roots of your neck. So the more forward your head goes, these pop up. You can't simply just push these down. You have to get the head back.
Oh,
I know,
goodness,
okay.
Man.
This is why it's radiating around.
Yeah.
This is the cause of that radiation you were talking
That's
about.
insane.
Yep, yeah, right there. We gotta push that down.
Oh.
All right, breathe. I got you. Yeah, okay. It's that. I mean, I'm pushing half or a third of the pressure that I was on the right side. This is all.
Being kind of the one.
Yep, I know. But it's that tender. I'm just saying. I get that.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, right there. You'll see it. We'll see a mark right there in a second. You got it all. All right.
Sorry.
You're fine. No, it's stuck. It's stuck right there. The ribs are raised up. We have to push these ribs down. All right. Let's try combing it first. There it is right there. See it? It's coming up right there. Right there. This is the...
I had to work in Cocoa Beach yesterday, so that's why I came down this time.
I got you. Gee whiz, a lot over here. I didn't even know that was there. I know, until you touched it. And look at all this up here. That's a lot. You just gotta figure out what level of pressure you can handle, and it's just holding. Now, eventually, I'm going to give you a piece of foam that I'm going to show you how to emulate my elbow by putting a piece of foam back here and then using the weight of your torso.
So laying on it?
Laying on it, yes. And then you're going to emulate my elbow with that, and then your need for me will be less. And that's where your lifetime, and then getting your alignment fixed will then make this area not build up with so much soreness. That radiating will go away. How's this? A little better than last time, right?
It's not as bad.
Not as bad.
Right? It's not
The gua sha moves some of that acidity out. So we just keep combing it. Now, by stimulating it, tomorrow morning, like going to the gym and doing a big workout, you're going to be tender. Can't even stretch this yet. It's too stiff. You have to chip away at this first. You can't use a broom on a rock. You have to first use a jackhammer to break it in little pieces, and then the broom can be used.
I mean, it feels lumpy to me when you're going over. I
Yep.
mean, it feels.
Yeah, right there. That's it.
Ooh.
There we go. Come on. Sorry. No, you're not, Ed. I know. I'm sorry. Oh. All right, sorry. Oh, it's not fun. Oh, all right. Okay. There we go. There we go. Hey, toes moved. Okay. Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah. I got you,
Oh.
People want those crunches. I'm earning them. Earning. Oh, we
Wow.
big toe. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh, 5 for 5.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. I got you. I know. Okay, good.
Does everybody laugh at their pop?
Yeah. There we go. A little bit. There we go. All right. All right, go ahead and tilt your head left. There we go. Okay, it's okay. About taking your ear off. Tilt left. There we go, a little bit. Go ahead and tilt right. There we go, yeah. There we go. There we go, tilt right. There we go.
Alright.
They made a piece of foam, essentially trying to emulate my thumb or elbow. It's rigid, and the idea is that we're going to place it above that horrible spot.
Alright.
And what we're going to do is we call it tissue pull. So we're going to be making a contact on your back. See how the tissue moves? Like my pressure on the skin hasn't changed, but the skin moves.
Okay.
That makes sense? So we're going to have a downward tissue pull over that spot that was horrible, is what I'm trying to do.
Got
So
it.
we got downward pressure emulating my elbow pressing, and then this becomes your chiropractor. You don't need to come in anymore. That pushes the rib down. That's going to relieve what we call thoracic outlet, which is what's happening. You're pinching the nerves coming out that side. We got to get the ribs down. We also got to get the curve in your neck. There's another device I'll show you in a minute. And then you get off, you roll to your side.
It doesn't feel bad right now.
But you want to press that rib down.
I feel the stretch. I can feel the stretch. I don't know if it's in the right spot for that.
Really the whole area, all of these ribs. So the idea is we push all these ribs between your shoulder blade downward is what we're trying to do.
You're letting your arms fall back.
Yes,
or
sir.
up, you know.
Yeah, you want to get the arms up, that leverages. So what happens is when you lift your arms up, the ribs rise up. And so we're pressing the ribs down when your arms are up so that they actually stay down. We're overcorrecting. This one's, legs are straight for this one.
Okay.
And then, get the idea?
Yeah.
Right, so your head's trying to go over the device. I'm going to show you the incorrect position so you can see what's, sorry, head back, I'm going to show you the incorrect. Incorrect would be like this. See how your chin's down?
Yeah.
So your head's not going over, you let the head go back over the device. Sometimes I take my hand, I press it into my forehead. That makes sense?
Yeah.
To get the head to press into the mold. That will become easier and easier as your neck becomes softer. Right now your neck is a 2x4 and it wants to play teeter-totter on my dental roll. I want your neck to fold over it.
Well, that's a good question. I mean, should you be sleeping on your stomach, on your side? I always
Nope.
sleep on my side.
I know you do, because the side is avoidance. You
Oh.
understand? That's why you like probably more on the left
I
side.
used to sleep on my stomach, like
That's
in an
even worse.
RAO or something, or LAO, or. Yeah.
It's even worse. The stomach The stomach's great for your lower back. The issue is what to do with your neck.
Yeah.
And people turn, anytime your neck is turned more than 45 degrees, there is no curve in your neck. So biomechanically, if there's a curve in your neck when you head straight forward, when you rotate your neck past 45, it must straighten. So if you have your neck turned all the way, you're essentially stretching the curve out of your neck.
Wow.
So you can't have a curve. If anything, it goes kyphotic, which is, so it's lordotic, and then it goes straight, and then it's kyphotic the other way, which interdiscal
Hernias.
pressure,
Yeah.
herniations,